I'd like to thank you for being with us again as we continue to show online our services here at Cornerstone Community Church. I just want to share with you something that hit me last week while I was watching with the family in the comfort of our own home. The difficulty of hearing my voice, looking at myself, is one that is very difficult to overcome, but God is gracious. The difficult part that I also discover is the reality and the frailty of the flesh. As I watched the message last week, I noticed that I had encouraged people to press into the flesh of God. And if you know me, you know that what I would mean to say, or would have meant to say, is to press into the Spirit of Almighty God. But I'm reminded of the text in Matthew 26, when Jesus is asking the disciples to pray in the Garden of Gethsemane, the pressure that would have been upon Christ, and the disciples, somewhat not even really knowing what's going on, were asleep. And Jesus, in verse 41, he says to them, "Watch and pray that you may not enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." And I have to tell you, there will be other Freudian slips or blunders as we do this, but through that, God stirred me to write this quote, something that I was thinking about while I was working through the processing of how do I fix this? It's online. People are going to say that guy's out to lunch. He's telling people to press into the flesh of God, and that would have not been anything that I would have fully intended. But here's what I wrote. The jubilant joy of spiritual and eternal victory is built on the epic failure and imminent defeat of the flesh. The jubilant joy of spiritual and eternal victory is built on the epic failure and imminent defeat of the flesh. The moral, or to make that a little more concise, I am in the flesh a failure, but thanks be to God, by the presence and infilling of His Spirit, He allows me to be a success. And so we must press in to the Spirit of God and forsake the desires and lusts of our flesh. And so I hope that this has been something encouraging for you to hear. And thank you again for tuning in to CornerstoneKalispell.com. Blessings to you all.